All right, here we go. Decluttering video. So in the summer scrub list, we talked about tackling different parts of your house every day. That's your work for the summer and your kids' work for the summer. And now I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into what that means, how to declutter those areas, how to get rid of all the excess, all the noise, all the chaos in our physical space. So I started off this summer scrub list with my room and my closet. Now, I have been decluttering for a very long time. I have started off with Fly Lady, and then I went into different systems. I mean, I feel like there's no way that I didn't research and try to declutter. And I think I've stumbled across something that can take you, like, you get a little bit further every year in decluttering, years and years and years and years and years, and you're still working at it. I think that I've stumbled across a way that it can push you forward much quicker. If you don't know, I have 10 children and stuff cycles in here a lot, like clothes. One year they got 18 robes for Christmas. One year we got 12 to 18 throw blankets. Like, just a lot of items come in. If each one of my kids gets 10 gifts, which they get more than that for Christmas, that's 100 new items every Christmas or Easter or birthdays or whatever. So a lot of things is cycling in, and I've had to get very good at being able to cycle it out and kind of protect those spaces. But even more recently, I have this call to be even more simplified than I've ever been, ever. I used to think I wouldn't want to be called a minimalist. First off, because I'm very far from a minimalist, but also because I felt like that I don't want anything to take over my life in one area. So I don't want weight loss to be my one and only thing. I don't want minimalism to be my one and only thing. We are all, our personalities, different parts of our lives, there's all parts of us. So nothing can dominate everything. And I felt like in order to be a minimalist, it would have to dominate my life. And I wasn't going to allow that to happen. So, but I do think that as I try to live a calmer life and a more intentional life, I'm realizing that even visual clutter, it messes with my head, and also not having good systems messes with my head. And then I also know that the rooms that I have are highly decluttered are my favorite rooms. I also know that when I clean a room, all my kids want to be in the clean room. They do not want to be in the dirty room. And I also know that that's not being messy and chaotic is not a way I want to present myself to the world as either being, that's not an attractive thing. It's not attractive to being a Christian, to being a mother, to being a homeschooling family, which I'll get into that in a minute because that's changing for us. But so anyway, it's not a look that I want. It's not something that I enjoy if my environment is cluttered, and I don't want it to take me 10 years to get spaces where I want them to be. So here is what I've discovered. So I go to a lot of friends' houses and ask them, okay, what room do you need help in? We'll sit down and we'll make some solutions for it. I'll help you declutter it, decorate it, rearrange it. It's one of my favorite things to do. If I could go to every person on here's house and do it, I would be extremely happy. I would do it on my birthday if I could, because it's my favorite thing to do. But because of time and all my responsibilities and children, I can't do that. So I'm going to do it on here. So I recently went to a friend's house to help her design her addition of a laundry room. And I sat down with a notebook. Oh, you can get these beautiful notebooks. If you have an Ollie's around, you can get the most beautiful notebooks from Ollie's. But anyway, I sat down with a notebook with her and I said, okay, Lindsay, tell me, what are the 5 functions of the laundry room? What are they gonna be? And so what that question does is it allows that person to tell me a whole lot of information about their lifestyle, what they do, what they don't do, what's important to them, what's happening in the space anyway, whether they want it or not happen, and in a very short amount of time. I mean, we could probably talk about each space in our house for hours and hours and hours, why people do this or that. But when you narrow it down to that simple question, what are the 5 functions that this room needs to be able to do, then the person can very quickly tell you, okay, we need clean clothes, we need a place for dirty clothes, we need a place for ironing, we need a place for cleaning supplies. That's 4 right there for a laundry room. If you go into if you're doing a bedroom, okay, we have sleep, we have my folding clothes, my husband's folding clothes, and we like to read at night. I have a rocker here to rock a baby. Okay, that's 5 things. Then I get to, so anyway, when I do that and I start jotting down, okay, either the person I'm helping, or I started doing it for myself, which is the point of this video, they start naming the functions of the room. So then you realize, well, wait a minute. I was helping someone, for example, I was helping someone in their master bedroom, and I'm like, okay, what is on this shelf? She's like, well, this is the piggy banks for my kids. They can't keep it in their room. So that became one of the functions. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't belong in here. We need to find a new place for that function. Or I'm storing photo albums in my bedroom. I'm doing folding laundry in my bedroom. And when you look at your list, is that really where you want to be doing those things, or is it just kind of happen that way? So to really break down what is the function, and try to get it under 5. I have reasonings for that number 5. I feel like a room or a closet or a dresser or a space cannot properly serve more than about 5 functions. Sometimes it's only 3. And it reminds me of our brains too. If we are doing more than 5 big projects or 5 responsibilities in a day, we're probably going to feel very, very stretched thinly, because I don't think for some reason that rooms or spaces or people can do much more than 3 to 5 functions and do them well. So I'm going to give you an example of, I started off in my master my master bedroom has 3 closets, 2 small ones, and then a big walk-in closet. So when I went in my room, I was like, you know what? Why don't I use this system for my own space? I do it every time I go to somebody's house. Like, okay, what are the functions of this room? So I did it to my big closet, which is kind of becomes a dumping ground or a storage place. Now, it was neat. I mean, I've decluttered this big closet for years and years. It actually could have made it to a video on decluttering, because it was very neat. It was very tidy. Everything had a place. But then when I asked myself these questions, what are the 5 functions of this closet? It ended up being more like 10 to 12 functions. And it wasn't hurting anything that it was in there. I have the space where I literally have 3 closets in that room. So, but something magical happened when I brought it down to those 5 functions. And what happened was that the closet could breathe. There was nothing on the floor, which that is one of my biggest tips for decluttering. Do not store things on the floor if you can help it at all. Dust gathers around it. It's not easy to see what's on the floor. I don't know. It's just a tiny shift that, trust me, you will love it when you start. So in your pantry, if you cannot store anything on the floor, the bottom shelf, you're going to love it. Try to get to that point. Okay. So my closet had these 10, 12 functions, whatever it was. I wrote them all down. I went around. I'm like, okay, we're storing luggage in here. We're storing special occasion dresses. We're storing hunting clothes and hunting equipment, Brandon's current clothes, Brandon's out of season clothes, keepsakes, wrapping stuff, pack and plays, which neatly had a spot, guitars, and so I wrote down all these things, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can get down to 5. But one by one, I started, and I like to start from left to right. I started on one section. I'm like, okay, what if I pull out all the baby gear, anything that has to do with babies, they're no longer using it. And I have a cubby closet in the twins' room. So I just moved the pack and plays, the bed rail, things like that. Anything that I found that had to do with baby gear, I went ahead and put in the twins' room, and I decided I'm gonna declutter the twins' room next, okay? So a lot came out with that. Then I took out, I had some big blankets from my bedroom, and I'm like, well, I have a linen closet. Even though this doesn't fit nicely in my linen closet right now, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the linen closet because the function of the linen closet is to hold linens. And I want to be able to delete one of those functions from my big closet list, if that makes sense. So then the next thing, I'm like, we have a mother-in-law suite. We call it the bungalow, and because I've decluttered it before, there are empty closets in the bungalow. And so I said to myself, okay, well, what if I make one of those empty closets that we have not used, or if we are using, it's just full of clutter. What if I create a hunting and fishing closet so I can put life jackets? And so I was like, it's like this light bulb went off. So I took all Brandon's hunting stuff, hunting equipment, and I went put it in the bungalow closet where I'm going to organize that later. I didn't want to get too distracted from trying to get my closet down to the 5 functions. I go move it. Then I'm like, well, in my linen closet, I'm storing sleeping bags, which is hunting and fishing, and I'm storing a kayak in a Tupperware. Excuse me. I gotta sneeze. So I went and moved immediately the kayak, the air mattress, again, something that we might use once a year, from the linen closets, and all the sleeping bags, moved it into the bungalow closet. And so then I freed up an entire side of the linen closet. And I could easily fit my quilts that I was for my master bedroom in the linen closet where the sleeping bags were. And I'm like, I'm going to reduce the things in there later, but I just want the functions to be right for now. Then the linen closet, once I emptied out the kayak, the air mattress, maybe a few other things I didn't, I have a decor closet somewhere else. So I pulled out decorative pillows out of my linen closet and holiday blankets, and I went put it in the decor closet. Again, I'm going to declutter it later. And I decided to move. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have realized that I could have a whole side of this closet for gift wrapping and extra gifts. So that was another function I pulled out of the big closet in my master bedroom. Then I decided to put all of Brandon's out of season clothes somewhere else. So I just kept shifting down until I had my 5 functions. Then after I had my 5 functions, and in the meantime, I mean, I'm filling up bags of giveaway and garbage. Stuff is really moving out. Okay. And also you should have a very large space to put your giveaway. When I just dropped off a thing today, it was 8 garbage bags. I probably could do this on a weekly basis where I'm giving away a lot of stuff. And I have an under the stairs closet that when we first moved in was full of clutter. It was full of luggage and all kinds of stuff. Now I've completely cleared it out, and that is my donation closet, so I can fill it up. It can reach up to, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 garbage bags full of giveaway stuff. So it's wherever I'm working, the clutter is not looking at me. It's actually physically getting removed. The room is getting lighter and lighter. And so anyway, so that closet, so once I got down to my 5 functions, I'm like, this is beautiful. I love it. So actually the top shelf is completely empty. The bottom shelf's completely empty. I'm down to about 40% in that closet. But I'm like, something was still bugging me. So then I went into each function, and this took me like a few days after. I would kind of do it when I was just maybe had a couple minutes, maybe before I go take a bath or something. I'd go look in the closet, and let's say I had the special occasion area, and I would put my hand on each piece in there and say, it was one of the special occasion things was Brandon's Letterman jacket. He's not gonna, why is that taking up space in special occasion? He's not gonna wear that again. I folded it up and I put it in keepsake. Then I looked at a dress, a special occasion dress, and I'm like, that's really was my style a couple years ago, and it's still adorable, but I would not put that on my body right now. Like, it is weather appropriate, and if I had to go somewhere, I would not put that on. So then I got this idea that once you get your functions down to 5 or below, then you go into that function and you ask yourself, if it was the season right now, it's seasonally appropriate, it's the right time to use it, whether it's decorations or clothes or electronics, will I take this out, put it on my body? Will I take this out and put it in my living room? Will I? And if the answer is not like a resounding yes, then it needs to go. And this is the harder part, in my opinion, because before you're giving away like trash, things that don't fit, things that you hate the color, like there's something wrong with it. But then you get to perfectly good things and you're like, do I still go further? Do I still go further? And I'm going to tell you the answer is yes. So I decluttered my sweaters for winter down to about 5 or 6 of my favorite sweaters. And I didn't feel guilty about this because as I do my capsule wardrobes every season, I have another video about that. I really am extremely particular about what goes in it. It has to fit me right, be the right, I have to love everything about it. If I don't love everything about it, it has to go. And also I can go to Goodwill or Red, White, and Blue and get 5 of the most beautiful sweaters ever when the season comes around in my exact style, in my exact taste, in my exact size at the given time for about $30. So I don't need to hold on to these things as if they are prized possessions. They are not. They are, this consumerism world, stuff is just coming and going, coming and going. I will be able to replace that item when the time comes. Okay. So I can tell you, go further. Once you get down to your 5 functions, sit with your stuff, let it sink in. What are you using? What are you not using? How can you place it better to where it's easier to manage? And for instance, my husband has had loose socks, like our whole marriage. Well, now that I've gotten him to declutter his stuff, and the way I do that, I have some tricks for getting your husband to do it, but every once in a while, I'll hand him a stack of stuff and I'll say, is there anything in here I can get rid of? Or he was in his closet picking out a shirt and I said, okay, can you pull 10 of them that you don't love anymore? And I counted them, he handed me 10. And so we just got less and less and less. And so I joke, I'm like, do you feel like a high value man now that you have matched socks? So I am taking better care of his things and my things because the inventory is so much less. Also, most of these things I've learned, I watch Minimal Mom all the time. If you want uplifting, encouraging videos that leave you feeling motivated after you watch them, you really need to watch her videos. I have never watched one of her videos and didn't feel better than before, like after I watched them, I felt better. I didn't feel discouraged or like I can't do it. So a lot of those are great tricks. This trick it's really something, and I plan on using it as I do friends' houses, or my mom wants me to go help her do her closets. And the first thing I'm going to do is get out my notebook and I'm going to ask her, what are the 5 functions? So on that note, my bedroom, has 3 functions. I literally have a dresser that holds up my lamp, and it's pretty, and it makes the room look visually equal, you know, but it is completely empty. The drawers are completely empty. My clothes is extremely pared down. The rule for me is, would I put it on my body right now? And if the answer is no, then it leaves. I just invested in 3 pairs of shoes and then came home and really tried to get rid of almost anything else because I'm going to go to those 3 pairs anyway. So I hope that helps you, and I might make more videos on this topic. I could go on and on and on forever about decluttering, but I hope these very basic rules help you in your journey in your house. See you next time. Okay, bye.